Hey, everybody. Welcome to What is the Definition of Love? I am Michelle Kasha, and I'm here with two amazing people. Samad,
Yes.
is that
Hi.
how you pronounce it? Or
Yes. Samad.
Samad and
Mhm.
Angie, right? Okay. Hers was really easy, but I was like, oh my gosh, like he has a unique name too. So
Thank
I
you.
wasn't really sure how, is it Arabic?
Yes. I was gonna say it's not that unique in the Middle East, but
Okay,
yeah.
so it's Arabic. What
Yeah.
kind of, what's your background?
I am actually 100% like black, with
Really?
like, of course, a little white in there because slavery, but you know, and
Just
but
had to.
yeah, that's why we can't do
So
our own
you still could
podcast.
get coronavirus, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Since you have some weight in you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just saw that. I just saw that today. I was telling her earlier.
I can't. Well, I hope they won't flag my show. Anyways,
Am I higher risk because I'm light skinned? I don't know.
yes, I am actually, and it's so funny because some lady told me today at work because I work in a pharmacy. She says, "Oh, are you protected?" I was like, "Yeah, I work here. I'm protected." She's like, "No, but are you Spanish or black?" I was like, "Nope." She's like, "Oh, you're not protected." I was like, "What the?" She's like, "You're white." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you guys stay away." I was like, "Okay."
It's
Like
not-
I walked away. I was like, "Okay, like bye."
She said you have to stay.
Are you from here too? Like
Yeah.
you guys
Born
are
and
both
raised
born
here.
in
Yeah.
Jersey? or-
Montclair.
Born up- Yep.
actually.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I ask how old you guys are?
Yeah, of course. I'm 24. I mean 20. Yeah, I'm 23, and you are.
24.
He was gonna say she's 24,
Yeah.
but he said I'm 20.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, jobs.
I'm a barber.
I'm like blown away. Like I wish he didn't tell me, but he was like, she's a barber. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she awesome. Like she could do that.
Mhm.
Art. I look at being a hairdresser or like makeup artist or barber, anything to do with hands. I think it's an art
for
related.
sure.
Yeah.
And then you are.
I am a musician.
Yes, I had no clue. I just asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a full time." I'm like, "Okay, I'm stupid," but yeah. So, how long have you guys been together?
3.5 years.
So, where did you guys meet?
We we met in high school, but technically no, because I met her one time, and then she tells me that she waved at some person every day, thinking that it was me.
him. I
So
was like, oh, I said hi
I
to him
don't
every day.
consider
Like, I
that.
don't know who that kid was. He was always just like, and I just waved. Back. I don't know.
His spirit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that person was, but I thought it was him.
Yeah, but we met again before we like started dating on Instagram, talking a little bit, and I came to get a haircut at her shop. Well, not her shop, but at a shop she was working at, and she let her friend who didn't know how to do my haircut cut my hair. So
It was
It
a
w-
coworker.
yeah,
that I
it was
had.
it was a good
But
way
it
to
was-
start a conversation.
It was very in the beginning when I didn't know what I was doing that much. So like I wasn't gonna. I knew she didn't know what she was doing either, but I wasn't gonna
So
jump
you
in and
made
be
sure
like.
she messed it up instead of you messing it.
Well, yeah, I was just kind of like I can't jump in and I can't say anything if I don't know how to do it. I can't be like, hold on, like I can't do that. So I just
Yeah.
let whatever happen happen.
So
Mhm.
how did it look though?
It's so funny. Like I felt like it looked bad, but I literally shot a video that day, and that video got like 300,000 views in like a week.
Wow.
So it must have not been that bad because not one comment talked about my haircut.
Yeah.
Congratulations, look at you. Amazing. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So what did you like about him? Like when you first saw him, like what guys got you together? Like there had to be like some sort of a chemistry. I mean, I'm
This
sure.
is about to be funny.
I'm sure what you saw in her. Like I
What do
mean,
you mean?
I just opened the door and I saw like a beautiful woman. I was like, wow,
thank
like
you.
gorgeous, natural hair, like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
so,
you.
what
I-
did you see that? Please don't tell me ass.
No, I barely have one.
Don't
Yo.
don't talk about it because then people gonna look and I'm gonna have to fight somebody.
Oh,
But what attracted me initially was more so her personality, because I didn't have like such a high self-esteem at the time. I didn't feel like I had the opportunity to be with a woman as beautiful as her. But her personality gravitated me like to trying harder, saying like, yo, I actually have to like put some effort into this if I do want her, and it's funny because she didn't feel like that at all. She disagrees with that.
Well, I mean, for me, my friend like created an Instagram for me because I wasn't really like, I didn't know anything about that.
Shout out to Chef Steph.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, follow this guy. He has like your same humor. And at the time, he made like a lot of like memes from scratch and stuff like that. So I just would always be on his page, like liking the memes that he made. And I guess it was his humor that first, like, initially, like, I liked about him. Like, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were going to say like the cardigan. You said
yeah,
that's the
it
first
was
time.
a cardigan.
Yeah.
Hold on, they're gonna fight about this now.
No, it was. I forgot that it was a cardigan. So I mean, I didn't really look at him like in an attracted way, I guess. But then he sent me this picture in this really nice cardigan, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want this cardigan for my brother.
Shout out to Urban Outfitters.
And that was the first time I was like, oh, this guy's actually kind of handsome. Like I didn't really look at him. I was looking at his memes and stuff. But, like
to the point where she didn't even know I made music.
Yeah.
She was dating me for like a month, and I kept telling her about how I was trying to sell beats, and she thought I was talking about the headphones that was in my house.
I was like, you still didn't sell those headphones?
That would be so mean.
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
June 22nd.
Oh shit! Your guys are Geminis.
I'm a Cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Cancer.
Well, I don't know.
Oh no, you're the same. You're the same, right?
Yeah, I believe I'm a Gemini, but I don't really pay
I'm
too much
just saying,
attention.
like, yeah, I mean, you guys have, but it's funny. I'm really slow when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like music. Sometimes I'll be at work and they'll be like, "Oh, you hear this music?" I'm like, "Yeah." Do you know who's singing it? I'm like, "No." And some guy said to me one time while I was working with this guy, he goes like, "So then why would you freaking sing it?" I was like, "Because I like it." He's like, "Yeah, but you know all the lyrics. So who's the artist?" I was like,
I'm the same way. I don't really know
I got
a lot
so
of the time.
blanked out. Sometimes I'll be singing something, he'll be like, "What you know about this one? Who's singing it?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, if you tell me Choice or if you tell me, you know, I know most of, like, the people that were on my show that with their music, I'll tell you, like, who they are. Sometimes I'll blank out, too, about them. Because I'll be like, oh, that's them? Oh, I actually know this voice, but where did I hear? And he'll be laughing. He'll walk away, laugh. And then I'll be like, oh, man, I got to figure this one out.
It's funny, actually, because he shouted me out as like one of his like number one. I guess you could see the stats when you have like a business kind of like page thing, and he shouted me out as like his number one fan. And I got so embarrassed at first because I was like, he knows I'm looking at his memes so much. Like I thought it was like, I was like, why is he calling me out saying I'm like the one on his page the most? That's
she
so
liked all of my photos and commented under like, you know, damn near everything.
Basically,
so
she was stalking you.
I hope.
I was stalking the memes.
I hope so.
I was stalking the memes. It was funny. I don't know. Like, I didn't think of it, but then I kind of took a step back after he called me out. I was like, what? Who does that for memes? That's so strange.
That's so cool. Oh, wow. So you guys were in school together. Were you guys friends in school? Or
Nah,
not, really?
not at all.
No. Well,
I
he was
hated
a grade
her.
under
No,
me,
no,
so.
no,
What?
Nah, I jokingly said, nah, I hated her, bro. But nah, I didn't know her like
Yeah,
that.
we didn't.
So, like,
we didn't cross paths.
You guys didn't
or-
have the same friends. You just
No.
were
Nah.
totally on two different sides of the not globe, but
I literally just saw her and was like, all right, most like nice, a girl out of my league, cool. I remember that. Moved on with life.
Jeez.
I think
I have low
because-
self-esteem.
I mean that he just said he
Yeah.
felt like he didn't have enough self-esteem. I mean, I don't think he had a low self-esteem. I think he felt like he's not enough for like what he saw.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say.
I still
anything.
feel like
I'm
that
a mom
sometimes.
of two boys,
Yeah.
so I kind of understand like what he's trying to say. It's not like he felt like he's worthless. It's just that, hey, a beautiful woman like that. I mean,
Yeah.
hello, you know. And it's not that he's ugly, or it's just how he felt, you know.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and I mean, I congratulate you on your talent. I'm sorry that I had no idea that.
That's totally fine.
I promise you, I will be your number 2 fan. I will stalk you all the way from today onwards. I promise you.
I appreciate
All
that.
right. So yeah, then you can give me a shout out. I'll be like, oh, wait, what happened? Oh yeah, he was on my show. So now it's been what, 3 years? You said going out together?
Yes, 3 years.
So you were only 20.
I was
So
like
19.
about to turn 20. Yeah.
Okay. So did you know she is the one?
Did I know that she was the one?
Yeah.
Um.
From the start, or did it take?
Okay, so we kind of just like went head on like into a relationship, and at first, it's okay if I talk about this, right? All right, cool. At first, because it's her business too. At first,
want
I
her to
felt
talk
like.
about it too, so I'm gonna give you half of her that chance, and then you guys can.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool. At first, you know, she has been in 2 other relationships before I was. I had the most like a relationship will last with me was probably about like 2 months before her. So I had like a lot more people that I tried to be with, and it didn't work out. So when it was working out so well with her, it definitely scared me. I'm like, what? Like, this is impossible, and it pushed me away. So we had like a month break, and in that month break, I learned that like sometimes when like God just puts something in front of you, you can't say no. You gotta, stick with it because it's good for you. So yeah, since then we haven't had any kind of breakup.
Yeah.
I just told the whole story. I'm sorry.
In that 1 month that you guys were separated, did you see other men?
No.
So you kind of knew that you guys are gonna go back. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I like hung out with people, but I didn't really I didn't date anybody else or like do anything like crazy with anybody. It was such a short amount of time to like really do anything. You know what I mean?
Word.
So I guess it's like more of a spiritual, like it's,
Yeah, we were just both trying to figure. Well, I mostly was trying to figure myself out, and she didn't understand at the time. But in
yeah,
retrospect,
we don't understand.
yeah,
Sorry,
Well, it was
women
my
don't
first time being like rejected fully. I was just like, "What is this? Oh my gosh!" Like I was like, "What is this feeling?"
this
I
is
do
going to
not
sound
like this.
so like narcissistic, but like I felt like when you told me that, I was just like, I've humbled you.
I wasn't like cocky. I wasn't cocky or anything.
No, not that you were, but sometimes
But I
as a
just
human, you
never,
got to
like-
experience certain things to better yourself.
I never like went towards people that, like, I never liked anybody that didn't like me already. I
So
guess
how
so. I
long-
never experienced the rejection aspect of.
How long
of that.
ago? Like
Mm.
how long into the relationship did you have that break? Like 6 months into
Oh,
it.
we were like literally probably about a month in.
Yeah, it wasn't.
like
It
a
wasn't.
month
It
in.
wasn't very
Okay.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
wasn't like, a year. Oh, we're gonna
No.
take a break because I'm
Mm-mm.
kind of. So you were already starting to feel.
Yeah. No, I felt extremely in love, and I was afraid to get my heart broken.
That is so cute.
Not when you're going through it.
That is so cute. Damn it! You're taking all my questions away. So do you think we can fall in love multiple times as humans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Meaning with different people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you guys fall in love with each other multiple times on different levels?
Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Really?
It's funny actually. I feel like the first time he kind of did say that he loved me, I was like, because I didn't feel like he was really at the point where he could say that. It was earlier, I guess. So it was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, and then later on, once he finally said it again, he was like, you know what? Now looking back, I feel like I didn't know that I didn't until I did, kind of thing.
But just to further explain that, I think there's a huge difference between I love you and I'm in love with you. Because I'm a very loving person, so it's easy for me to love somebody that's in my life. I could be friends with somebody for like a week and like tell them like, yo, like as that person's walking away, I love you, because you never know when somebody's gonna die and stuff like that. But at the time where I said like this is like what I really feel, I was in love with you to the max.
Does it get does it exceed the max?
Oh, it does. It does. I was just using slang.
So, I just wanted to say how I actually picked you guys. I actually was on Facebook, and I do, all posts do come up, and sometimes I get these alerts. So his came up. I don't know why. I just went on and I saw him, and I saw you. Like, it's like, oh my! I was like, oh Jesus! Like, he actually did it the right way. I need to find somebody.
Thank you, Mark
Sorry.
Zuckerberg.
I was like, I really actually need to find somebody to be on my show that actually did it the right way. And
Wow.
I saw your face. That's why I said to you, were you actually really surprised? Because it blew me away, like how surprised she looked. She was like, I'm like, yo, this is so cool. It's like he put it on social media for people to see. Like, this is a real person in love, because nowadays we have social media, right? Everybody wants to put their shit out there. But then when you have a relationship, you don't want to put pictures of your love or your significant other out there, because they claim that they're gonna break your relationship. To me, I think it's opposite.
Yeah.
I saw you guys, I was like, whoa, like, this dude is like, this is my girl. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, shit, don't you, like, stay the hell away from her, because, you know, it's like, this is mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could tell. But there's other people that think, oh, you know, social media I should not be putting my shit on social media. But then you'll see them fight, and they'll put their problems, but then they don't put what, you know, their...
Yeah. I mean, for the first, like, 6 months of our relationship, I didn't put on social media.
But you also have a music career, so it's kind of scary how much you got to put out there, too.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. It was more so, like, you don't want somebody to not end up with you, and then people start asking, like, hey, what happened to that person? Or we do, you know, put ourselves on social media a lot, and then one of us do something that the other one doesn't like, and then that's out there. Like, so I still am very balanced with it for certain reasons.
I like that. I used to, like, you know, I used to manage artists. So, like, when I went on your page and I looked at your page, at first I didn't see much of her. But then when you guys got engaged, I just saw the whole thing. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, look, this is what I have. This is, you know.
Yes.
So can you show the ring?
How do I show it? Like that?
Like that. Like that.
This camera ain't doing it justice. No.
Yes, yes. So anyways, going back to that, who influenced you guys most in your life in regarding relationships?
Kanye West. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
Yo, like,
That was such a quick answer. I was like, maybe.
Nah, we didn't. You know what? I'm gonna let you take this one.
Who influenced?
Yeah, who influenced us in a relationship?
I don't know. I don't think anybody influenced us.
That was my answer
do you
too.
have like
a role model?
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Unfortunately, no.
No. Could have been Jay-Z and Beyonce, but 444 and Lemonade. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's the two albums they dropped about Jay-Z and the
Yo,
whole situation.
Okay, I'm very
I was joking, though.
musical. Both parents are in your life? Mom and dad?
My mom's in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom and dad are both in my life now, but it's a very tricky thing. Like, they were separated for my whole life. And I know my father a lot more than I did growing up. So,
okay.
Yeah. But right now, everything's good. Everything's peachy.
Cool. That's amazing. That's good. Because now they can, hopefully maybe they'll learn from you guys.
Yes, yes. They're still separated, but yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to be together.
Yeah, no, I misunderstood what you said then, my bad.
His dad's in a good, healthy relationship, but he has a wife now.
Yeah.
So.
So, do you have any qualities that you looked at in her for as a wife? Did you say, like, did you have like a list of the things you wanted in a woman to be your wife?
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't have kids, right?
No, we don't.
Good job.
Firstly, I felt like with any woman that I ever think I was close to or fell in love with, they had to be somebody that I could imagine being a great role model, as in like being motherly and being able to take care, not of me or anything, but you know, I could just imagine them with kids and being a great parent, because that's personally the most important thing to me. When I was looking for relationships, even when I was, you know, going from relationship to relationship to relationship, I was still looking for somebody to try to spend the rest of my life with. You know what I'm saying? So, I was always the more serious one in my previous relationships.
I feel like I got really excited about him really early because he actually checked off a lot of things, I guess.
Oh, so you did have a list.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was
every girl
things.
has a list.
She never told me
wanted
the list.
him. I just wanted like a best friend, like someone who like really, if all the other stuff fades away, like you still have a really good friendship. And I feel like we had that. We really understood each other a lot. And then like he's a very like he's to me like the nicest person that I know, like the most caring person that I know. So it's like I almost look up to him kind of, and like I kind of want to be more like him, and everything that he kind of does, even with like he, you know, working like really hard, is religious, you know, like drive and all that stuff. Like I want to be more like him. So I feel like it's good for your partner to like motivate you to be a better person and stuff. So
She said a lot more than I did.
Truly do.
I'm sorry that I just was like saying like, yeah, I just want somebody to mother my children, and
Let
you
me tell you.
say all these great things.
It's a guy has a different answer to a girl. A female's always exactly like you said, motherly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna have to have those answers.
Yeah.
If she didn't have those answers, you needed to leave. So yeah. So I truly think that that's awesome. First gift you guys ever exchanged. The first thing you guys ever gave to each other was?
I think birthday gifts, because our birthdays were so
close to each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
I got him a dog tag with his name engraved on it, and like his
the crescent and moon for like Islam.
Religion.
Yeah.
And then what else? It was some other stuff.
You got me some cologne.
Yeah.
And some
cologne?
candy, I think. I do still have the cologne, but
it wasn't it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like
and it was
like,
so
what
funny.
Kind of smells and stuff that he liked.
One of the main reasons that I feel like she was like, you know, attracted to me was because of the cologne that I was already using. And for her to get me another cologne so fast, I was like,
I didn't know you that well though. So I didn't know, like I thought like he likes to smell good, let me get him a cologne.
I love that. I'm glad you think that. Or I'm glad that that's true.
Yeah. What did you get her?
I got her clothes. I just got her clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are twinsing tonight. Just wanted to tell everybody they are cute. They have the same kind of sneakers. I don't know if they're the same. Are they?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Same.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I was gonna put my foot up there, but I'm not gonna do that.
Same
I thought about it.
Same outfit. Really, really cool. Cute. I like that. That's really cute. You guys complement each other. Well, you're still young. I mean, I hope it stays this way. I'm trying. Okay. When did it actually feel like you guys are completely right for each other?
Do you want me to answer that first?
Yes, you can answer that.
I feel like when it was past like a year and a half or so, and like we never really had an argument or like any big disagreement.
What do you mean we never had an argument?
I'm like, hold on, let me see. What did you guys fight about? Because I'm liking all this. Like.
And then we started to like live together and everything, and that still never really changed either. You know, like we consistently like communicated really well, and like even though we never have any big arguments or problems, we're consistently working on like communicating. And I feel like he works on it way more than I do. Or he brings it up more, I guess, to say, I guess.
I think I work on...
When I blow up, I like to text.
That would give me so much anxiety. I can't... You could tell her... I mean, you could ask her. I'm like a bad texter for that reason. Because if it's too much, I get overwhelmed. And I'm just like, I'll see you when I see you. I can't do it. And there's no disrespect. That's for like everybody, you know? But the moment that I feel like we... I mean, at least I realized it was real, is for about like a year and I think like 5 months now, we've been celibate. So, like, yeah, it's crazy.
Wait. Oh, I was going to come to all this. And you guys are
sorry.
filling my blanks. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not filling her blanks.
That's really cute. So, wait. So, you guys live together?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, as a couple?
Yes.
Or with your just on your own?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So his brother lives with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so his brother lives with you guys. And you guys have not been intimate.
Not in that way.
No.
We still, hug and cuddle and all that. But like, I think once we did decide, once we both together like made that decision, it improved our relationship because we learned how to, really just fully speak with our minds and not our bodies and like talk to each other and
That
understand
would
each
be
other.
It for my boyfriend right there.
It ain't for everybody, but I can definitely recommend it.
Too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but
you
that's
can,
really
without
that's really
that
deep,
when it's
though.
gone, it's still
Yeah.
like you can still be with this person every day and like enjoy them.
So does this mean like marriage is like a year away?
Yeah.
A wedding is like a year
Like
away.
like the
We don't
bigger
know.
wedding is like a year and a half away, a year away. But
Yeah.
we do want to get like religiously, like do a small thing,
I'm coming to that.
like in a couple months or so.
So you are religious. You're Muslim.
Yes.
Okay, and you are also Muslim, or are you converting to it?
I'm in the middle.
In the middle. So what were you before?
I grew up Christian.
Christian. Not that much difference, but it is different.
Yeah.
So you will be converting to his side, and then you guys will have the ceremony in the mosque, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really interesting. Would you wear a white dress? Like, would you wear a dress?
I think
wedding dress?
for the religious thing, I don't think I'm gonna do that formal. I think I'll just find something
Because that's
nice.
mostly like an American culture thing as far
Yeah.
as like wearing a white dress and walking down the aisle and all of that. That's, super American. So what we're going to do is the American side of things for the ceremony
side and
where like
all that
everybody's
stuff.
invited and stuff. And then for the religious ceremony, we were thinking about, spicing it up, trying to do, more festive things maybe.
Do you, like that the dress that they like? I'm sorry, but I have some of my colleagues are from Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
and their dresses like are like expensive. Like
Yeah, I'm not
one of them.
type.
One of them got married in red, and her thing that she had on, her sari, I would assume, or dress, was $5,000.
It's not expensive enough.
The beads she had beading like threaded in. Somebody actually was doing it for her. I was like, yeah, no.
I
She's
don't
like,
think
yeah,
a
my
dress
dress
could
was
ever be like
ordered when
that.
I was 17 years old. She's 25.
That's
So,
beautiful.
Yeah, and she's still the same. Like this, like
Well,
I mean, not me.
I
Though.
guess her guy has money. I don't know.
Well,
No,
that's
her
not-
parents had it for her.
They
Yeah.
had it made for her. Like.
I hope to
yeah.
do that for my daughter one day. That's a really nice kid.
No, not $5,000. No dress is
$5,000
ever worth $5,000.
Hey, look, if my career take off, ain't no telling.
You still shouldn't have them like be used to that kind of lifestyle.
No, they wouldn't be used to it. It's a very special thing.
It's crazy.
The goal is to ball out on the first wedding, so there won't be a second.
So how long from now is your religious wedding?
We don't have an exact date yet, but we're thinking like May, June.
And would there be sex after that?
I don't know.
I mean, it is not only permissible but encouraged by my Lord, with your wife. So
Okay, so it will be done. Have you done it before? You've been
Celibate, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So
I
so
think
it's
it was
not
like
gonna
a
be
year
any
and some change
surprise.
before. Yeah.
It's not gonna be a surprise. Like
Right.
oh,
Oh, no.
she's not good. He's
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
Yeah,
Nah,
nothing
nah.
like that.
No, no
Okay.
surprises.
Whoa, that's damn. I don't know. I'm trying to think
The
about
face
it.
he's making.
He's like, you can think, but what makes a happy marriage? You guys think?
Communication.
yes, that's a better answer.
I suck at that.
Oh, I mean, some you got to work. The thing about communication is kind of like even love itself. You got to work on it every single day. It's not like I love this person and I'm going to love them for the rest of my life. You have to wake up and say, I'm going to achieve loving this person and achieve communicating with them every day.
I feel like we've put things in place so that we don't argue or like we're never trying to hurt each other. We're both not really like petty type of people. And I feel like so we kind of do this thing where it's like, if I do something that might annoy you, whether it's big or small or whatever, you don't really speak on it until the end of the day and you don't go to sleep angry. So you can talk about it if it's still in your mind by the end of the day. You've had time to like think about it, because sometimes when you just speak immediately and say things, it can be misinterpreted
that
or
I
like
know.
misunderstandings or
I know
people
about
just
that one. Ooh.
you're not thinking about it enough. And most of the time, it's never anything that big that you end up even bringing it up, but you still feel comfortable
See,
to bring it up.
I can't bring, like, I will, maybe even 2 days, I won't say a damn thing. So I guess maybe that's where I'm wrong. I should, like...
No, you should never go to sleep mad at
Yeah,
each
don't
other.
go to sleep angry.
Yeah.
Because then it just, like, resentment builds up, anger, animosity, all these things that you don't want to add into your relationship ends up there because...
Yeah, I'm trying.
I feel like 90% of arguments is just miscommunication, like someone feeling misunderstood or someone is being misunderstood.
Or he has to say something that he should not.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
Yeah,
I feel...
She's like, nah. I'm just talking about myself.
Nah.
You know what's funny though? With that state of mind and how we like move, most of the times we end up apologizing for something before one of us even gets on the other about it.
Yeah.
So we like try to be as self-reflective as possible and think about how everything we do could make somebody feel.
And knowing someone's like triggers and knowing like, you know, like which tone to use or like how to say something. Because I can tell sometimes like the way someone talks to me sometimes it's very like he takes a lot of pauses. He's calculating everything. He doesn't want to like offend me or he doesn't want the thing that he's thinking to come off the wrong way. But I really appreciate that. And sometimes even knowing that he's thinking about that, even if he's telling me something that might be hard to tell me, I appreciate it and I'm not angry because I'm like, this person actually cares about how I feel and thinking about like the way he's saying it. So
and the celibacy improved on that because a lot of times dudes would be like a lot of dudes no listen it improved on it because a lot of times dudes will be saying whatever or will be trying to not offend a woman and stuff like that just so by the end of the night they can get what they want. If I know that I'm not going to be getting what I want in that sense by the end of the night, I'm doing it purely out of my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it because I want to keep her happy, and there's no consequences of not keeping her happy.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You guys are going to have a long life marriage. I'm telling you.
Hope so.
I don't know much about it because, you know, but I think you guys are on the right track.
Thank you.
And being this young is just mind-blowing. Like, I'm just like, I don't even have questions. I'm scared to ask.
Go ahead.
Flowers or chocolates?
Flowers or chocolate?
chocolate. I like chocolate.
Both of them.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
You like to give both?
Yeah, because I know she likes both.
Okay, this is a little offish. Please don't feel offended. Does size matter?
No.
Okay. He's like, you better not. Yeah.
No, that wasn't that look.
Well, I mean, you said you had, no, he said you had other relationships before him.
Yes.
So, so he's not your, is she your first?
No, she's not.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I disagree on what she says because you know what? That's the right answer for her.
That's the right answer for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the best way to diffuse tension in a relationship?
Slap boxing. Nah, for real. Nah, the best way to diffuse tension is just trying to like spend time together doing something. Like if you don't want to talk to each other or you feel like you don't want to talk to each other, try doing something together. It will spark conversation at least.
Bowling.
Yeah, bowling is fire.
Oh yeah, we are in a league.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I've never bowled in my life, so
she's probably still better than me.
Really cool. Like I'm improving. I mean, I just got my first strike ever, so I'm like, hey, I want to say. This one, I already know. When you guys argue, you guys don't last more than a day, right?
Yeah.
I can't even say that we really argue, to be honest. But yeah,
it's more like stern discussions.
Yeah.
Like Montclair parents. Yeah.
This is dope. What's your perfect dream wedding?
I've never really had a dream wedding.
Yeah, as long as like
small and simple, I guess.
As long as my moms and pops is there, and even when like I wasn't as cool as I am with him now, I just wanted to have my mother and my father there, and to just be happy and just feel like God is gracing it. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to do anything that's like that makes you feel like, am I doing something wrong? It's just gotta feel right.
Wow. I like that. Takeout or romantic dinners?
I like romantic dinners more.
What is like a romantic dinner necessarily? Like,
So like,
'cause you can make any dinner romantic. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
but
can either make it yourself or you can go out.
Oh, okay.
Takeout is like when you bring the food in and you
Yeah.
just stay home and
I guess I prefer to eat at home, but he cooks almost every night, so it's like
so for
I
him,
like his
that's making
cooking.
it- I love my boyfriend's cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so you cook halal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I gotta be at your
But
house.
but not the style, not the style of the food. I can't do like gyro and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I just
Don't
cook
matter.
halal meat.
It's all right. We coming. Ooh, you said home cooked meal.
hmm
What's a date night like for you guys? How would you like? Do you guys do date nights?
I feel like date night is nearly every night. We usually try to do like
Yeah.
a date day, like
Yeah.
fully, clear
Every
out a
Sunday
schedule.
is like a date
Yeah.
day in
Yeah.
a way, because that's my day off.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically, you guys have nothing to do but go out. Like, what would be a perfect date? Like, how would you?
I mean, our
spend
last
it?
date was pretty fun, I guess.
Yeah,
Tell me,
we're
tell me.
what was the first thing we did?
We just we stayed in, and I don't remember. We just had a good morning. I don't remember what we were doing.
Well, let's talk about the things that we
Yeah.
like doing, which is sometimes we play video games together, sometimes we watch TV together, sometimes we just recently bought like a basketball and a football, so we could just like play on the court together every once in a while.
We went to
And
Dave and
Dave and
Buster's. We
Buster's,
go out to
yeah.
the movies. We
Yeah,
go to the mall a lot. Just
yeah, we don't even like buy that much stuff, but
we
like
just like going to the mall.
Just
it's
shop.
a good reason to walk. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to walk around.
Sometimes we take walks together.
Mhm.
We'll just like get pliables. We'll walk just do random, I don't
Yeah.
know, everyday stuff. I don't know.
Do you guys have a pet name for each other?
Not that we verbally call each other, but
Yeah.
his name's Lovey in my phone.
Lovey?
But I don't ever verbally call him Lovey, which is weird. I don't
Aw.
even know where that came from.
Mine's
to be
change up
honest.
so much. I'll find something that she likes that I'll call her and then forget about it. Like
Yeah, I don't.
sometimes
think we
I'll say
really
like
do pet
honey,
names.
Angie
Babe, I don't
baby,
know.
babe. I actually no, I never
You've
say
never
babe.
called me Angie baby.
Yes, I
My
do.
mom calls me that.
Yeah, she does, but I call you that every once in a while.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I don't remember. But yeah.
Okay, so your first time you guys ever been sexually involved, not with each other, but for the very first time that you guys ever had sex, was it actually how you've heard it would be?
It sounds like a really
That was
bad story. Like
awful.
mine sounds like a terrible story.
Mine was a terrible
Really?
story.
Hers sounds worse than mine. I mean better than mine's.
How?
You can tell yours. I'm good.
Oh,
And then I
no.
want to hear his though.
Hmm.
But so I want
Mine
to hear
was-
both.
Mine was weird. We were in a bad place. It was not indoors, unfortunately.
Oh damn! It was outdoors, so
It was in a car,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a big difference
Yeah,
between
it was in a
outdoors and in
car.
the car for your first time.
and I panicked. We were both virgins, and then I don't know. He just said we're not virgins anymore. I was like, oh my god, get out! I was like, oh gosh, and I cried and I called my friend. I was like, I just freaked out. It just went through my mind. I was just like, oh god.
So it's definitely not what
It was bad.
anybody else
Yeah, no.
explained. Because I remember mine. Oh, it's going to be so easy. You're just gonna. I'm like, when it happened, I was like, oh hell no, this is never going to happen again.
Well, with mine's, I was talking to a girl on Instagram from Queens for about a month, and everything was absolutely great. Yeah, right. So one night I decided, you know what? I just want to meet her. You know what I'm saying? I FaceTime with her and everything, but FaceTime ain't real life. So I got home from work and she was like, yo, what are you doing? I'm free tonight. And I'm like, I'm on my way. So I took the train up there to the worst part of Queens. I could swear. I don't know, because I'm not from Queens, but you could just look around and tell. And I was looking like, oh my God. It was 8 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock in the winter. So I'm like, oh, so it's night, you know? So I couldn't even find the place for a second, and I was just so worried. I'm like, yo, why am I doing this? I'm about to get robbed and die, you know? But so somebody opens the door, and it's not her, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what's finna go down? And it turns out to be her friend. So we got inside, but this was her friend's apartment because she was spending the night at her friend's house. So I was supposed to leave, but her friend let us spend the night and let us both spend the night in her room. I still didn't, for some reason, feel like anything was going to go down because I was a virgin, and my plan at the time was to save it until marriage. So, that was the first time that I ever slept next to a woman. And, you know, she cuddled up on me, and I was like, it felt nice. And I just started praying immediately, like, all right, God, like I'm having a lot of wild thoughts right now. So like, if this is wrong, show me a sign. Show me a sign. And I didn't get a sign. So I was like, all right, I guess it's finna be my wife. So, she was actually really calm about it, and this is the reason I gave her my virginity, because she was I was like, yo, I think I'm ready. She was like, no, you shouldn't do this. I don't want to be like your first this fast. You know, she was like, you know, really calm about it.
Like, he was saving it. So.
Yeah, and then we didn't do it that night, but I woke up first thing in the morning, and at the time I didn't know like being horny in the morning is way worse at night. I mean, the night. So I'm all like, you know, sleep grinding, and she's like, are you sure about this? And everything went down, and we did it like 5 times in that one day. And
that was already done then.
Yeah, no, I was like, yo, this finna be my wife. I'm going all out. Like, so the bad part is the last time, because I was stupid, I wasn't wearing a condom. The last time that we did it, I'm trying to like not be too graphic, but the last time that we did it, she wrapped her legs around me, and I told her, I don't want to say what I told her, but I'm gonna say I told her it was about that time. And she said, don't. And I'm like, what are you talking about? and I was afraid that, you know, the mission was completed. So it was just a very crazy moment in my life. And she like took like 3 extra days to take the Plan B pill and stuff like that. So, cause I wasn't by her, so I couldn't like go and get it myself for her and stuff like that. I told her I would travel to her. She kept telling me, don't worry about it. And then she missed her time of the month for about a month and a half. So I kid you not, I prayed, as a Muslim, you're supposed to pray 5 times a day. I prayed 5 times a day, every single day, and like cried almost every prayer. Like, God, please, I will not have sex again if you make this happen. And he made it happen, and lo and behold, you know, we're all sinners. But yeah, it was a wild moment in my life. I made a song about it.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I think for a guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
for your first time
said,
to think
I'm
you got someone pregnant,
so
like that's
to
crazy.
boys. So
I didn't tell my mom until the song got dropped.
Oh Lord, help!
I think she still thought you were a virgin until she heard the song.
Yeah, and the girl thought to this day that I lied and wasn't a virgin, and I was like, why would I lie about something like that? But yeah.
Oh, bye, Felicia.
Nah, I don't want to say that. I ain't gonna say her name, but if you're watching this, I hope we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry for making that song without your permission, but I still to this day have not given up who you are.
How many hits did you get on that song?
I don't even remember. It was a while ago.
Ah, okay. Right. Hopefully you got
He
a lot.
sent it to me actually, like during the first like, I think you made it like right around the time where we started like talking. I was like, what kind of dude sends this song? This crazy story.
Because at the time I didn't think I didn't think you was going. Hold up, because I didn't think I had a chance with you. So it was like, you know, caution to the wind. Like, I'm throwing whatever at you.
Stream at least.
Yeah.
How important are compliments in a relationship?
I think they're pretty important.
I don't think they're that important, but I give them all the time.
I would say because when I didn't give them to you as often, I felt like you were like, why aren't you giving me compliments?
But it wasn't like I was expecting compliments. I was just insecure and needed that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you needed the compliments, so that's why I said.
If you're with somebody who's insecure.
But I think also, as a couple and you guys are still both young, and as you said that you thought that you didn't have a chance,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool if you compliment, she compliments. I think it should be actually. I think it should be natural, not because
Yeah.
you compliment her, she compliments you. I
Yeah.
think it could be out of the day, in the middle of the day. Hey, babe, I was just thinking your hair's cute,
Yeah.
or something,
But that's
Just
a little different. To me, that's like more so expressing how you feel and expressing yourself. And she always knows that she's beautiful because every time that I think, like, yo, she's mad beautiful. Like, when I look at her and I think that, I say it. So to me, it's not really a compliment. It's just like, I want to let you know you're doing your damn thing. And I hope she let me know when I'm doing my damn thing.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. I was just thinking it, but I never said it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Communication.
I made more of an effort after he told me that to like say it when I think it.
so how important are promises and to be kept?
Not
in a
that important.
relationship? Shit. Okay, not that important. I ain't gonna marry you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just thought about it. Just made a promise. Forget about it. We can keep the ring though.
No, promises are important, but forgiveness is important too. It's very important because we got to understand that we all human. A lot of us, sometimes make promises to God that we can't keep. We got to just try our best, but the initiation of a promise is more important because it shows your goals and intentions. It's worse when somebody says they know they have a problem and they say, "Oh, I can't promise that," because it's like you're not going to put the effort in. But yeah.
So, gifting.
Mhm.
Do you guys give gifts out of birthdays? Is it
Yeah.
only on
Out of everything.
birthdays? Oh,
Literally
we
random.
Both just randomly get. We
Mhm.
actually both randomly got each other gifts on the same day, which was funny because then for a moment I was like, wait, was something happening that I forgot about for a second? I think it was the lanterns. I got the shoes. So pretty much both of our shipments got like, so his said it was coming tomorrow and mine said it was coming that day. But mine ended up coming the next day and his was that day. So then I was like, this is your box. It's a secret. I was like you can open it. And then he opened it and he realized it was my surprise. And he was like, oh, no, you can't open this yet.
Mm.
So it was like, it's just funny. Yeah. But we give gifts a lot.
But did you guys ever give, like, for example, he gives you shoes and you give him shoes and it's just something random that happened,
Yeah.
like, but you both are...
Well, he got me shoes randomly, and then I already had shoes coming in the mail.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty random and inconsistent.
Yeah.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes. More recently though, I didn't for a while.
Is she your soulmate?
I would say so.
We'd like to be soulmates. That's why we're getting married religiously.
That's
Oh,
cool.
oh yeah. The reason I believe in that
He's so offended.
is because in Islam there's I forgot where I read it, but apparently we were all just souls somewhere before this life. Not like reincarnation, but like before the beginning of time, I guess. We were all souls, and some of us are more familiar with each other than others. So I would imagine that me and her were just really familiar souls because we get along extremely well.
I really like that. That's really cute. Really cute. Biggest regret in life? I'm assuming that thing.
Nah, it's not. It's not my biggest regret because everything that happened made me who I am today. But biggest regret,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't think I have a big regret. I don't think I do.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really do anything too crazy to regret anything.
Yeah. I
Think
regret
about
wasted
things too much
time.
before I do.
I guess wasted time is the only thing I regret.
What's the hardest lesson in life that you learned so far?
The hardest lesson that I learned in life so far, patience, and I still haven't learned it.
You're still practicing.
Yeah.
I guess not like holding on to the past and like moving forward, I guess.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people. I myself have a tendency of holding on to like certain things in my
Yeah.
past, and they do come back to like haunt me at times.
Yeah.
And I give credit to those people that can actually really say we're gonna let it go and not even look back. But certain things I can't. So So I really admire that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big exercise
It is.
to do, but if you get to it, you could accomplish it. There's nothing in this lifetime that you can't accomplish. I
Right.
think, you know,
Right.
I mean, I tell that to my kids, so I hope that uh, that's what they say and that's what they do. Um, Most proud achievement in your life so far? Could be career, it could be whatever.
My most recent album, but when we get married, probably that. And then when I have my first child, probably that.
Oops, someone's calling me. Oh, your brother's calling me.
Yeah, he called me too.
Is he okay?
If he's calling both, not. What time is it? You probably need a
It's
ride.
10:30.
I feel like he needs a ride.
Sorry.
My brother calling us.
Yeah.
We'll call him in a few.
Yes.
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
um,
Oh, proudest
most
moment.
proud achievement.
I know this sounds weird, but getting like I almost got like 100%. Jesus, almost got 100% like attendance with school. And my like in high school, I had the worst attendance in my whole school.
So
Like,
this was awesome.
yeah, like they had to like reset the school's like what is it called? The attendance, like start everybody back at zero because I was like set for like in school suspension for like a couple of months because that's how much I like wasn't on time. And so I know this sounds kind of like weird, but like it was such a hard thing for me to be punctual, and the fact that I did that for like 9 months straight, I was just like really proud of. And of course, like graduating like cosmetology school was like it was all part of it.
I hear it's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a scam in a way, in my opinion. But yeah, so I think that's what it was like altogether. Just
I'm proud that I got out of remedial classes. I didn't think about that. I was in remedial classes for like maybe about 4 years of my schooling, and they made me believe that I actually was dumb when I wasn't.
yeah, they do that.
And then by the end of high school, I was in I had one honors class. So yeah.
Wow, really cool. Where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years?
Divorced. No,
It's an inside joke of ours.
what do I see myself in 5 years? I don't want to say successful because that's very subjective.
You could.
You
say
could.
successful.
How old am I right now? 23, so I'll be 28. Hopefully with my first kid on the way. That'd be pretty cool. You'll be 29, line up.
She's scared.
I said around like 30. So yeah, that's not that far off.
You'll be there.
Yeah.
And if it's on the way at this time when I'm 23,
Yeah.
and you would be 29.
It'd be about there.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you would be 30 by the time you had a kid.
Agreed.
All right.
Need that in writing.
House? A house?
Yeah, I would definitely. Well, I want to have a house.
I think it'll be a
sooner than
mansion.
5 years. No, I don't want a mansion. Small.
You don't be too successful to be in a house.
Even if
I
you're
don't want a mansion,
successful,
though.
have a small.
I want a big house, not a small mansion.
big house
Yeah.
with a big basketball court, so you guys can play basketball.
Maybe. Depends on if we keep it up.
Yeah.
You will. There's something that you guys are loving to do, so I don't see why not. What did you want to be when you were a little girl?
I don't know. I don't like. That's a weird thing. Like, I never really like dreamt about doing anything. Like, my mom would always put all my siblings in like different like sports and different things, but I don't know. I was always just very like. I never thought about it. I guess too much. So.
What about you?
I was always involved in music, but I think I just wanted to be happy.
Okay. That's great. Is there anything that since you've been together, you guys used to do like as kids and you stopped doing it? Something that you kind of love to do before, and because now you're in a relationship, you kind of feel weird to continue it. I mean, you kept on music, so it's not something that you gave up or
I guess gaming. It's not that I feel weird about it now,
Mm-hmm.
but I used to be very passionate about that when I was younger.
I think it's the fact that I don't want you to play certain games unless I'm watching you play it.
Yeah, there's
like,
that too.
Like I like watching the storylines of like.
Okay.
It's like watching a
got
movie.
me
Like
scared there.
I like watching him play the game because like I can see the whole story like unravel. I know like the whole like events of everything that's happening. So it's like if I'm not home, I'm like no, don't play yet because I want to finish like the story kind of in a way. It did
cute,
sound
though.
weird though.
Yeah, at first I was like, wait, what? And he gave me that
You
look
need
like,
supervision. Well, no.
if you had to change something about yourself, what would it be and why?
These jeans, they're a little tight. So no. Now, if I had to change something about myself, I'm sorry I keep like joking around so much.
I love it.
If I had to change something about myself, it would be. I wish that like I never, ever, like, watched porn ever. I would change that about myself. No, for real, because I feel like it can skew how you look at regular day situations, and it's harder to focus when you're thinking about those things. So if I never saw that, I think I would probably be further in my career. Although I haven't been like watching it consistently anymore, but I think I'd be further in my career because I'd be a lot more focused.
I think it's like a religious thing too.
Oh yeah, then there's God. Yeah.
I thought that was the reason why.
That is part of the reason, but what made me realize that it was that because there's no like strict ruling on that in any religion. When I realized that it was making me unfocused, it helped me realize like I need to back from that. Yeah.
What about you?
What was the question?
If you had to change something about yourself, what would it be and why?
I think I would want to change like my like anxiety. Like I get anxiety, so I think I would just want to get rid of that.
I mean, you're awesome, so I don't know what to say. I just met you guys, so I mean, I'm loving this. Like, I was so nervous, and he can tell you, like, I always get nervous. I was like, yo, like, I'm nervous. He's like, okay, yeah, whatever.
You're doing good.
Yeah, I try and keep my composure. What do you guys think makes marriages fail nowadays?
Alcohol sometimes, I feel
Alcohol?
like. We both don't drink.
Porn?
Okay.
I feel like every time I see other couples fighting or when things come up or like people make bad decisions or they cheat or they do other things, like alcohol is always kind of around the corner with that, I
think alcohol makes people act on their desires, but people's desires are their desires. So I feel like people got to work on like what makes them feel that way. Like I know really productive people who smoke weed, but that's because they weren't lazy before they started smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? Like if certain things are in you, yes, substances can bring that out of you, but we got to work on ourselves more. If you are in a relationship and you feel like you're attracted to other people all the time and you really, really want to be with them more than you want to be with the person you're with, you shouldn't be in a relationship. Stop being greedy.
Yeah.
So I have, this is like a big question for me. I like to ask it. So knowing that you guys both grew up without both the parents in the house, how did that change the way you guys grew up now being in your own relationship? Did that make a difference?
Yes.
Did it teach you something? Is there something? I mean, you just said that you only grew up with your mom. I'm not sure if you know your dad. But is that something that you, is he still around? Like, is he alive?
Yeah, he's definitely alive. I don't have a relationship with him, and that's like my choice not to.
Okay, so it is, you know who he is.
I know who he is. I know where he lives, all that stuff. I'm not going over there.
So now, with that being said and known, did that change you guys with this?
For me, no. I never really, and this sounds like weird, but like I never really looked to my mom never really dated people either. Like, well, like she now has a boyfriend. Like after all her kids got like much older, she didn't want to bring, I guess, guys like in and out or whatever. But
Good
I feel
mom.
like I just learned with relationships with friends and other people, and just like, you know, that's how I learned, I guess. I didn't really look at her or look at other people for like guidance in those situations. I kind of just like went with it and figured it out on the way.
Okay. What about? I mean, you said yes. It did.
Yeah, I feel like it did because we were both raised by super independent parents, which taught us to be independent. And although we work well together, we, like, us being independent together is extremely beneficial because we'll always make sure that the other is like holding up to their responsibilities, not just as like, oh, paying for things and whatnot, but just as a human being, you know, being able to get up every day and like make sure you're making your life about something. And, you know, I think that has to do with us having parents that work together.
Maybe.
Do you guys remember your first kiss?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was really awkward. I just kissed him randomly, like really awkward.
You did it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, she must have lifted your self-esteem.
Yo,
at
when she did
damn
that-
point.
You must have been confused.
When she did that, like, I felt like,
Superman.
you know how like people react when they get like stabbed and they didn't know they got stabbed? I was just like, like this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, how did this happen to me? But yeah.
Would you sacrifice your career for this relationship?
It depends on what you mean.
Meaning, if it had to come down to you taking the contract and be successful and having to leave her behind.
But what? All right, so I'm just trying to figure out what contract
Okay.
would make me leave her behind.
So nothing in your career will stop you.
Nah, not really. Especially since she's a barber, so she has a very flexible job.
I
So
like that.
yeah, we talk about these things.
Okay. So you guys already had these conversations that I'm
Yep.
kind of questioning. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's good to talk about, though. It's good to know, like,
No, that's
It's
what
an
I'm
interview.
saying.
this
These are-
happened.
like,
How would
these
you
are
handle
questions
that?
that I try and cheat on. Like,
Yeah.
you know, figure out, do people actually, like, I had people fight over the gifts
Mhm.
that were given on the very first time. She
Wow.
claims she gave him one thing and he claims he gave her something else. And then
How
it
does
was
that
like
turn
a-
into an
I
argument?
low-key
it
want my
became
parents.
like a whoop, whoop, like, wait, no, wasn't it this, and no, you did this for me. And then I just
Yeah.
laughed. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, they were young couple too, but it was so cute at the same time
Yeah.
because she could not remember, but he remembered what he gave her, and he actually made the gift for her.
Oh, that's how you. That's
So
how you
it kinda
remember.
was, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
I guess it was of a sentimental value
To
to
him more than.
Well-
and maybe not to her as much that
Mhm.
she, you know, it came to the point she actually remembered her Gucci, whatever she had. She got
Oh.
the second or the
Yeah.
third one, but she didn't remember. He's like, really?
Well, if they're watching right now,
Yo.
if it makes y'all feel any better, when I proposed to her, I had a violinist, a guitarist
Oh, God.
play
You didn't mention that.
the instrumental to a song that I had did for her a couple of years ago, and she didn't realize
Didn't
what song it
recognize the
was
song.
for like
He had to- he had to
a
ask.
good 4 or 5 minutes. I said, "You don't recognize this song," and then she stood there for about like 20 seconds, like. And then when she realized what song it was, so
To be
yeah,
fair,
and I created that,
the
so I'm with you, bro.
there was no violins in that song.
But that's why.
So
There
someone
was.
else did it.
Extra
There was on a
special.
bridge.
And also, I thought those people were random. I wasn't listening to the music. I kept asking them, I'm like, are we in your way?
You thought they were selling beats?
Like, I thought they were just random strangers practicing in the middle of the night. I don't know. So I wasn't paying attention to the music, really. I was kind of like zoning it out. And like, I don't know, like once he said something, I was like, well, give me a second. Because I didn't think it was for me. I kept
Wow.
asking them, I'm like, am I in your way? Like, should we move? Like, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't recognize the song.
So, what makes a relationship last forever?
I would say, what makes a relationship? Honestly, I would just say God. I know it sounds a little cliche, but unless it's supposed to happen, it's not going to happen. Which leaves me like, although I want to spend the rest of my life and forever in heaven, if possible, it always keeps in my mind that there may be a point in our relationship where things could go bad for a really long time and we might not be as compatible one day. And I have to be open minded to having the fact that there's destiny in there.
But I don't think that will ever happen.
I don't think so either. I'm praying on
Because
it.
you guys are so, you guys are doing it kind of very right.
Yes.
I
yes.
don't think anybody has nowadays can do what you guys are doing. I mean, not
Yeah.
that it's not done, but you guys are a reflection. I hope that a lot of people watch this show
Mm.
because this is a lesson. It's not just a lesson for the younger ones coming up, but you like older people like me that kind of think that we know it all and yet we don't know it all. It's amazing. Like I'm just blown away. Like I apologize that I'm like kind of speechless. Like I'm nervous and I'm like all this.
No, you're
Nah,
fine.
you've been doing fire.
But I wish when I was your age,
Mhm.
I could say exactly what you guys said tonight. I think my whole life would have been 360 different than where I am standing today as a human being. At your age, I was already a mom.
Mm.
At 19, I was already married. So I married a stranger of 6 weeks relationship.
Mm.
And I let God lead me the way I thought that I was supposed to allow a person to abuse me mentally and emotionally and then physically.
Mm.
At the end, it became physical. So, I truly applaud you because I see that communication is the key now, learning moving forward as an older person.
Mm.
I still have a lot to go to communicate as a human being. I lack that. I'm extremely scared.
But you're self-aware, though. That's good.
Oh yeah, I'm very self-aware, and I say that to myself. Sometimes I get mad at myself. Like I'll go in the bathroom, like fuck me, like yo, for real. I can't say shit. And this is how I feel, but I can't say how I feel because of. I don't know if I can say it because if I say it, I might say something, and I keep saying that to myself, and then I just shut down. It's like okay, it's done, and I feel like okay.
It's a process. No matter
It is
how,
a big
how old or
process.
young
Oh
you
my
are,
gosh,
it's a
such
consistent process.
nerve-wracking process.
And I would say like motivation would be the thing that would help a relationship last, because if you're both motivated to be in that relationship, if you're motivated to keep working on yourselves, then that's what's going to really keep that going.
Would you like to know the moment that I realized that I want to be with her forever?
Yes.
It wasn't something that she specifically did. I was just pondering and thought to myself, and I realized most people want to be with somebody until they die. That's always what they say. That's even in the till death do us part.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized if I get into heaven, I want to be with her forever, which is a mighty long time. Like it's bigger than I could imagine. It's not even fathomable. But I realized no matter how many days that is, that's how much time I actually want to spend with her compared to what most people think is like just 70 to 100 years.
So, I don't know if you know much about me, but I am daddy's little girl.
Mhm.
So I am one of those babies that grew up looking up to my dad, no matter how bad he was as a human being or how great he was. But when he passed away, before he passed away, he put a will together.
Mm.
And he didn't have no money, but he wanted us to make sure what happens with his body. So he wanted to be cremated, and he wanted to have his ashes with my mom when she passed on, because he believes that they are meant to be together.
That's
And
beautiful.
so he always said, like, when he met my mom, which is my mom's 16 years younger than my dad, so he was priorly married to somebody else. But he said that that's all he ever wanted, was to always be with her forever. So that's what I
Nice.
hope for
Me too.
to have one day. I know it's deep, and it's deeper than anything, but sometimes I feel like, yo, he was so damn weird, you know? I'll be like, oh man, you know, because me and my mom, we don't get along much, but yeah.
Mm.
So I'll be like, why? Like, but why did you like want that? And then I'll be like, yeah, but if you love somebody, I kind of have to go out of my box and stop being so stupid and see my way and not somebody else's way.
Mm.
And so I learned. I mean, they weren't perfect, but I learned so much. But I could never I don't think I can ever be in a relationship like my mother and my father. They had it all, fighting and cheating and this and that, and it was big, but they stuck together.
Mm.
And she took him back, and she rolled with the punches, and she's strong, like, you know. So I definitely always say that I would want to be strong like her. And then I'll always say, like, I want to be just like him at the same time. So I'm like, because I'm so attached to him, it feels like if I say I want to be just like her, I'll be like, you know,
Best
I'll
of
be
both
mad
worlds.
at myself. So he listening. So hey, um, what is your favorite? What is your most favorite moment in this relationship so far? I'm hoping I know, but I just want to let you guys say.
My most favorite moment.
Yeah, like the most deepest moment so far.
It was just one night where you know, she was praying, and after her prayer, she like looked at me and cried and just told me that she really wanted to be with me forever. I think that moment spoke volumes to me, because that's when I knew that she was either where I was at or past where I was at, as far as wanting to be with each other. Because it's moments like that where you realize, yo, it's random, and that you took a lot of time to just think about something like that and really ponder on the thought of how much you love somebody. And when you tell somebody in that moment compared to when you're just hanging out with each other, it's like, oh, I love you, which is great and all, but that moment is so much more pure.
Do you pray? Um,
Yeah, like sometimes we do it together, sometimes we do it like separately.
do you pray in English?
Sometimes in English, sometimes in Arabic. I
Okay.
kind of, that's why I say I'm like back and forth.
I love it. I love that.
But
Muslims can
I do
Muslims
really
can
like-
pray in English. It's just the
Well,
traditional stuff.
I grew up in. My father used to work in Libya, so I know a lot about Islam, and I know a lot about Muslims, and I
Yes.
know exactly how they pray,
Mhm.
and I know they say Allahu Akbar, and you know,
Yeah.
I know most of the prayer.
Mhm.
I used to know it by heart because my friend, her father was the priest.
Oh, the
So,
imam, yeah.
So he was, and he used to teach me, and he used to give me the book so I could read it because I read Arabic. I
Oh.
knew how. Yes, I was very fluent.
Lucky
So,
you.
yeah, and I speak Maltese, so Maltese is very similar to Arabic. So I really understand a lot.
Okay.
What are you guys grateful for?
It's actually funny
Everything.
because that's, I think with the story that he just said of like when I was crying, I think it was, I was thanking God so much for everything that he did for me, and I just like, it just kept going on and on and on, and I just like realized like that I feel like I'm the most thankful for him. Yeah. What do you-
Yeah, word. It's fire.
It's fire.
You can't say the same shit now.
Yeah, no, most
Oh,
definitely.
you're probably gonna
She's
say
like, hold
God,
on.
right?
I said,
I thought you would say God,
yeah, I was, well,
but God gave me you, I guess.
Yeah, but my answer was everything. I try my best to be grateful of everything and not take anything for granted. Sometimes, if I close my eyes a little longer than usual, I'll thank God for sight. Sometimes it's driving, realizing, hey, I didn't get in a crash. Thank God for that. You know, so I try to be grateful throughout my day.
I like that.
Thank you.
Where can people find you, your music?
Onlyfans.com/ oh wait, no, you guys probably won't get that one.
Was that a joke?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I
was.
like,
It was. Oh my gosh. Whoever's watching this, somebody's gonna get that. You can find me on SamadSavage.com, and you can Google my name, Samad Savage. You can find me on Instagram at Samad Savage. If you're looking for a clean ass, fire ass cut, you can follow her on her Instagram
Yes,
at
I'm about to.
Angie Fades. Yeah.
Angie Fades. Okay.
Coworker.
Well,
gave me
you
the
never
nickname.
know. I might want to go buzz cut halfway. Look at his face. You see what I'm talking about? Like, he will not let me just do a thing to my hair. It's like, thank you for taking your time. I apologize about the weather, and I'm always very punctual, so apologize to my audience, because I always put that 9 o'clock.
That was
on
our
the dot.
fault.
I was like, yeah.
You were a little late. Sorry.
Okay.
It's totally us. She's an amazing host.
Yeah,
She
she doesn't
does
have to say it
everything
was her
amazingly.
fault. Yeah.
I had a great time.
I have to say something before my last question.
Okay.
I truly cannot tell you guys how inspiring you guys are. And not just to me, but I hope that when I go home and give my link to my kids, they can watch it. My 20-year-old is with a girl in a relationship. I hope he learns from this. My 23-year-old is not in a relationship, but hey, you never know. I truly think that you guys are amazing. You guys will be amazing parents.
Thank you.
You guys will be amazing to each other. I see what I see, and I love what I heard. I truly wish you guys the best from the bottom of my heart. I congratulate you before anybody else for your wedding.
Thank you.
Your union with God.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of your loved ones. Maybe I'll be part of that. I would love to see that.
Thank you.
I'm not religious, but I am religious. I lie, but I'm more on a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Catholic, so I grew up to be Catholic. But as I said, I have a lot of background from my parents being in Libya. My father for many years, so we traveled with him, and so we know the culture. We know the religion, and Islam is a very strict, but yet again, it gives you
Discipline.
a lot of discipline, and you learn to teach yourself how to be amazingly out of your box and how you can conquer whatever you want to conquer if you really truly want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I see, and I have a lot of respect for everybody. My sister is married to a Hindu guy in Indonesia, and she's also converted to Hindu, and she's, she tells us, like, it's not really, but this and this, and we learn. So I'm very open-minded about.
The more we learn about each other, the better of a place the world will be.
I don't see anything wrong with it. Whatever your choice is, with your kids, hopefully you guys have a unity the same way.
Yeah, God willing.
Bigger and stronger than your parents had led you to. So for the last question, what is your definition of love?
We actually asked us that, and we did like a premarital counseling thing before, and I don't remember what the answer was.
My answer is dedication. I think when you dedicate yourself to anything or anyone, you love it or you love that person. And when you show more dedication to that person more than anybody else, that's true love. And I mean consistent dedication, unwavering dedication.
Yeah.
I want to know your definition, not just his now. You can be his saying.
Definition of love?
Yeah.
I think respect. I think
That was a manly answer.
Huh?
That was a manly answer.
No, I just mean, like, if you have a lot of respect for someone, then you can love them, and you can talk to them the right way, you can treat them the right way, you can, there's value there, there's, there's a whole way that you can go about everything if you respect someone.
I agree. I don't see any wrong definition about love, to be honest with
I love that you think that,
and I
though.
love that.
It's just one way. I don't know if that's the way, but I can't.
No, I love it from my perspective. That's fire.
Yeah. And I hope she says that at the, it should be questioned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to look back at the sheet that we have at home and see what I put down. Cause I don't
better
remember.
send it to me. So.
Yeah. It's a big packet.
It's all right. Well, thank you, everybody. I thank you guys for sticking around with me. Tonight was one of my favorite interviews I've ever done in my whole career of the show. I will
thank you.
truly bring you guys back to see where you will be at in a few years. I hope and pray my show takes off for a longer period of time this time.
Sure.
So have a good night, everybody. I hope to see you again Friday. Bye.